What's going on, everyone? So Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reaves are big three. And all three guys, the beauty is, are multi impactful, right? They're not just scorers. They can all play make. They can all rebound, right? They are guys that you can have interchangeable and always have two ball handlers, always have two just aggressive scorers, right? Whatever you need with those three, particularly the way Austin Reaves has been playing the last like 30 games or so. Like Austin Reaves has been fantastic. He's been aggressive, which even when I was critical earlier in the year was because of this, right? It was just like, dude, stop settling, right? Like, no, they can't stop you. Attack, be aggressive, right? Stop taking 9 threes when you're 1 of 9, right? Like, put the ball on the deck, get to the basket, get to the foul line. Bad shooting nights happen, but they'll continue to be aggressive. But he's just been so good, right? Has he had a game here and there? Of course. But, overall, he's been great. And in many ways, has been our best player, right? Over the course, because you got to think Anthony Davis was out. LeBron's missed some time. Luka's had his struggles. He's kind of been a roller coaster since coming to the Lakers. But there are still questions of, can those three coexist together at the same time? It does still kind of seem at times, right? Like even last night, you look at the Lakers, you had their big three combined for what I think it was like 85 or whatever, right? And it's like, but still, like Luka didn't have a great game, right? If you look at his stat line, you're like, oh man, dude, the guy like did everything, right? Gave you almost 30, he was almost 38 guy, right? Like, boom, that's what Luka does. But if you watch the game, he had his struggles, right? Like half his points came from free throws. And then, LeBron, he was solid, did his thing, right? His shooting starting to come around. He just got back from injury, so it's understandable. But, Austin Reaves has been that guy. I mean, he's been their closer. He's been operating as if he's the number one option on a team with Luka and LeBron, which is crazy. But he's been that good, right? Like, rightfully so. So, you have these three guys that, again, there are still question marks, but you still have time to figure it out, right? And I trust that they will. I'm trust that they'll figure it out. And and JJ, he can always just scatter it better if need be, whatever, right? Give him time, work it out, get to the playoffs. Also, those three guys, they are tailor-made for the playoffs, right? Particularly Luka and Austin Reaves, right? Because in the playoffs, the game is, it might as well be another sport in a lot of ways. But the game is just a completely different beast, a completely different animal, right? It's slower, it's more half-court oriented, right? Teams kind of want to, pack the paint and then close out hard on three-point shooting. But you have guys like Austin Reaves and Luka who love to operate in kind of that free throw line area, right? Getting to the midi, right? Which is open. More often than not, it's open. And something that I've highlighted over the years is like, look at the teams that usually advance far. They're teams that have multiple guys that can hit the mid-range. And then like, look at their shot charts and stuff. They're hitting more mid-range than usual. Why? Because it's open. Because teams are so worried about, closing out on the three and making sure you don't give up open layups and stuff, right? But also, like you see guys like Luka, how many times have we seen him beat teams that he probably had no business beating, right? Like Clippers at the peak of their powers, OKC last year, like these teams where you're just like, man, how does Luka keep doing this? Because his game is perfectly tailored and fit for playoff basketball, right? Austin Reaves is like, a Luka light, perfectly fit, tailor-made for playoff basketball, right? And then LeBron's LeBron, right? But another big thing is that all three guys are the only three guys, or the Lakers, I guess, as a team, have the only three guys that are all averaging 20 points per game and 5 assists per game, which is very telling, right? I'll get into it here in a moment. But, Luka's averaging just under 28 points and 8 assists, right? LeBron's averaging, we'll round up 24.5, but we'll call it 25 points and 8.5 assists, almost 9 assists. And then you have Austin Reaves averaging 20 points with 6 assists per game. They are the engine. They are the catalyst for this team. They are the ones that are going to, generate all the offense, for the most part, right? If they're not scoring the basketball themselves, then what are they doing? They're, distributing and dishing it out to the shooters or guys like that. Dorian Finney-Smith has been shooting much better. You got Jordan Goodwin who's shooting almost 43%, 42.9% three-point range. Gabe Vincent has been much better shooting the basketball. He's 35% on the season, but that's because the first half of the season, he was literally the worst offensive player in basketball. He was statistically the worst player in basketball, period. It's not an opinion. That was a literal fact for the first 30 games of the season, right? So he's really kind of came alive in the last 20 games or so. So you've seen his three-point shooting just skyrocket. I mean, he had a stretch where he was shooting 17% or so. It's literally more than doubled, right? So he's a guy, you have all these guys that the scrappers, the dirty work guys, obviously Rui Hachimura shooting the ball very well. You got Jackson Hayes who's benefiting from now all three. Luka was, not that Reaves and LeBron never threw him lobs, but Luka just looks for it so much more, right? LeBron likes to kind of drive and kick. He likes the paint kind of clear so he can kind of put his head down, get to the basket, and then kick out to the shooters, particularly the weak side corner, because he likes to drive left. So you got the weak side corner, usually gets to eat the most when LeBron is doing his thing, or he kind of puts his head down and then shoots the three ball type thing. And then Austin Reaves, he kind of, LeBron is the guy that's working with him and helping him, and he's modeling his game off. So you saw Reaves kind of kick out to shooters more often than not, where now he's kind of been following suit with Luka and looking for that outlet pass, and it's really just kind of helped Jackson Hayes tremendously. So you have all these different options, all these different threats, right? This team has the tools. They have the capability. They have the capacity, right? I believe the Lakers can win the NBA championship. There is a version of this where they are hoisting the Larry O'Brien at the end of the season. Now, I wouldn't bet on it, right? But there's not a team in the entire NBA that I look at and go, Lakers have zero shot of beating, right? There are teams that, I think are a lot tougher than others, right? But Lakers, they have a ton of holes. They have several holes. They have several weaknesses. They have several things that we really need to address in the offseason. But at the end of the day, it really all boils down to your main three guys. And this is why, and what I keep maintaining, right? If LeBron, Luka, and Reaves can be transcending, which all three guys can, I don't know if they lose, right? If they still have to figure some stuff out, because the problem is all three guys, again, have not been great at the same time. Right? LeBron's had his struggles, or Luka's had his struggles, or Reaves has had his struggles, right? So they really need to kind of figure out how all three of them can be. And look, obviously, again, bad games happen for everybody, right? I'm not expecting them all three guys to be, shooting 80% from the floor and giving you 30 each, right? Nothing like that. Somebody's always going to take the backseat, right? But 4 times out of 7, at least, if those three guys can generate the offense and be the clutch guys and do the things necessary, we can win. Lakers can win. Lakers are going to be one of the best offenses. They have been, right? And then it's just figuring some stuff out, working on some things. And then can you just be serviceable enough defensively, right? I don't expect them to be number 2 in defense or anything like that, or being the best defense in the playoffs or anything like that. But can they be just good enough, right? And for those that are like, oh man, but Lakers can't win a championship on just offense. I mean, look at Denver, right? 2 seasons ago, 15th in defense on the season, 2nd worst in the playoffs. And they were so good offensively and such a well-oiled machine, they just ran through everybody, right? If Luka can get back to being Luka, and you still have LeBron, and if Austin Reaves can continue to play at a high level like he has been, Lakers can absolutely win the NBA championship. All right? It's really going to boil down to those three. But something that I've said, and I want to keep putting this out there, if the Lakers make the NBA Finals, I am incredibly confident that they'll win the championship. I don't care who they play. It could be Boston, it could be Cleveland, it could be any of these teams, right? Don't get me wrong, those are all tough matchups. The reason I am incredibly confident that the Lakers will win the championship if they get to the NBA Finals, right, is because I think LeBron James will look at it and go, all right, this is my last chance, or this may be my last chance. And I think LeBron James will turn the clock back, and I think you will see a very different LeBron James. I think you will see an all-out, I'm not losing. I don't care. If I have to score 60 a night, I think you see like prime Cleveland LeBron, right? Like, or the dude's just like, a 40, 20, and 20 guy on a nightly basis. I think he'll do whatever. I think you'll see a very motivated defensive LeBron. I just think you'll see a different beast. But I thought the stat was very interesting. Lakers, their three guys, their big three they're cooking, right? So I'm excited. Excited to see how this progresses, how they continue to kind of grow as that trio. But as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Mixed? In the middle? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it either way, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. We enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.